Okay. Look, if they had a Native American talking about fracking, it wouldn't have been more on the nose than the hefty chicks talking about being comfortable in their body.
She moved herself to tears.
Yeah. All right. Can I just say this? In a world where everyone is freaked out by third-hand smoke, and you're not supposed to have soda pops that are more than 16 ounces, and we're worried about salmon that's raised on a farm versus, and like I said, it's all smoking, tobacco. Hey, let's ban e-cigarettes. How about the negative health aspects of being 150 pounds overweight?
Yeah.
Is anyone, or that's to be celebrated?
Pride and shame is one thing, but if you were to ask any doctor, would you want your child to be obese, overweight, chubby even versus have a healthy body? Of course they would say they want them to.
I think the point that she's trying to make is we're coming to understand that you can't shame people into being thin. Or at the very least, you can't shame them into being thin in a healthy way. They can shove their fingers down their throat, they can take a ton of diet pills, but you're not going to be able to shame them into being healthy. It just doesn't work.
Right. And, well, sort of and sort of not, because I've seen plenty of instances where people did get shamed into just about everything that worked. But there's still a difference between not shaming somebody and then celebrating somebody who's unhealthy. We don't celebrate smokers. They're unhealthy. We don't celebrate whatever. People don't wear seatbelts. Yeah. It's not safe. You know what I mean? Like, we don't celebrate people riding motorcycles with no helmet. Like, there's still this thing of, like, I need to be celebrated for who I am. Ironically, coming from the people who are freaked out over, like I said, they've invented third-hand smoke. Fracking is going to kill. Fire's going to come out of your spigot. Like all radon gas is seeping from the floors. There's environmental allergies. I mean, all the people that are Purelling the most are celebrating the hefty chicks the most. You'll die faster being overweight than you will be a smoker.
But are you truly worried about her health, or are you just exactly?
I'm saying it's hypocritical to go after third-hand smoke and then celebrate hefty chicks. They both have negative health effects.
Yeah, the scale goes from shame to pride with a nice zero in the middle. And while I agree that we probably shouldn't, I don't think we should shame people who are overweight, but I don't think we should celebrate it either. I mean, there's a healthy take care of yourself, but I'm not going to.
All right.
Plus or minus.
Anyway.
But if she's two-fist in a hoagie, I don't get fat by watching her do that.
No.
I might get a little cancer on me if somebody's blowing a cigarette in my face.
Yeah, but the big argument of, as a society, we all pay because we have to pay your health bills and for smokers. And we do all that. It's the same with the I tuned in just where the hefty chick was telling me she never felt better about herself.
That's unfortunate.
I'm just saying, when did we all have to feel marvelous about ourselves? About your role in life? Be a marvelous dad, be a marvelous mom, be a marvelous lover.
Motorist.
Okay. Well, if they had Native American talking about fracking, it wouldn't have been more on the nose than the hefty chicks talking about. Yeah. All right. Can I just say this? In a world where everyone is freaked out by third-hand you're not supposed to have soda pops that are more than 16 ounces. Salmon that's raised on a farm versus, and like I said, it's all smoking, tobacco. Hey, let's ban e-cigarettes. How about the negative health aspects of being 150 pounds overweight? That's to be celebrated.
But if you were to ask any doctor, would you want your child to be obese, overweight, chubby even versus have a healthy body? Of course they would say they want them to.
I think the point that she's trying to make is we're coming to understand that you can't shame people into being thin. Or at the very least, you can't shame them into being thin in a healthy way. They can shove their fingers down their throat. They can take a ton of diet pills. But you're not going to be able to shame them into being healthy. It just doesn't work.
Right. And, well, sort of and sort of not. Because I've seen plenty of instances where people did get shamed into just about everything that worked. But there's still a difference between not shaming somebody and then celebrating somebody who's unhealthy. We don't celebrate smokers. They're unhealthy. We don't celebrate whatever. People don't wear seatbelts. Yeah. It's not safe. You know what I mean? Like, we don't celebrate people riding motorcycles with no helmet. Like, there's still this thing of, like, I need to be celebrated for who I am. Ironically, coming from the people who are freaked out over, like I said, they've invented third-hand smoke. Fracking is going to kill. Fire's going to come out of your spigot. Like, all radon gas is seeping from the floors. There's environmental allergies. I mean, all the people, the people that are Purelling the most, are celebrating the hefty chicks the most. You'll die faster being overweight than you will be a smoker.
But are you truly worried about her health, or are
no,
you just... Exactly.
I'm saying it's hypocritical to go after third-hand smoke and then celebrate hefty chicks. They both have negative health effects.
Yeah, the scale goes from shame to pride with a nice zero in the middle. And while I agree that we probably shouldn't... I don't think we should shame people who are overweight, but I don't think we should celebrate it either. I mean, there's a healthy... Take care of yourself, but, I'm not going to...
Right.
Plus or minus.
Anyway.
But if she's two-fist in a hoagie, I don't get fat by watching her do that.
No.
I might get a little cancer on me if somebody's blowing a cigarette in my face.
Yeah, but the big argument of, as a society, we all pay because we have to pay your health bills and for smokers, and we do all that. Well, it's the same with the two-fisted and the hoagie thing. Either way, I tuned in just at the moment where the hefty chick was telling me she never felt better about herself.
That's unfortunate. I think we can all agree.
She was crying. And listen, I don't know, and you guys tell me, I don't want to sound like a prick. I'm just saying, when did we all have to feel marvelous about ourselves? I mean, what I'm saying is feel marvelous about your role in life. Be a marvelous dad, be a marvelous mom, be a marvelous motorist, be a marvelous lover.
Marvelous motorist.
Hey, lover.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Yes, you consult that doctor and don't listen to this program. Or consult him and then listen to the program. Or if he says, no, don't listen to this program, then by God, don't you dare listen to this program. And this program, of course, is HTLA Radio 1 New York and your Thursday double-double on the good old coffee and cigarettes shoe. Yes, the shoe. And we got all kinds of stuff in the coffee shop today. Yes. Rudy Giuliani is in the news. Yes, former New York mayor. Unfortunately, his comments have now made him the next Satan. Yes, true story. Also, a pediatrician who won't treat a baby with two moms. Yeah, go figure that. And how about that Obama, huh? He says the war on Islam is an ugly lie. Yes, all that while a woman kills herself adjusting her bra holster. Ow. Well, we got that and a whole lot more on the show today. Jenny McCartney, the one, the only social media goddess, kicking it in the booth, pushing those buttons, making us go. We seem to be having some technical issues again. So if we explode in mid-show, it's not your radio, it's us. We've blown up, yes. And we will most definitely blame ISIS on Twitter. Yeah. Also, of course, joining us will be our guest / co-hosts with the most hosts, mostists or whatever, whatever you call it. The one, the only Louis Lawless, the one, the only Kirstie Alley, and of course, the absolute man favorite himself, the one, the only George Takei. So, hey, come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up, gang. It's coffee time. Go. There's the music extraordinaire. That must mean it's time for coffee and cigarettes. And yours truly, Chris Crash Jesus Taylor, bringing it to you from the beautiful HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan, where it is currently 21 degrees, mostly sunny in Central Park right now. People are walking their dogs, but they're not frozen solid. They're just moving a little slower. Yeah, so that's better. Spring is on the way. Or not. Where is it? Oh, yes, there we are. Yes, of course, this episode of Coffee and Cigarettes is brought to you, of course, by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City. Now with 8 fine locations throughout the city to serve your coffee and baked good needs. Also brought to you by PreSonus. This is a PreSonus studio. Thanks to their digital 24/42 mixers, and we had a problem with our last one, but that was Starbucks' fault. And this one today, I don't know, it's acting a little funny. We'll have to see. So yes, joining us all the way from Mill Bay, British Columbia, sitting right now in Robin Webb's Mill Bay Film Studio, is, of course, the one, the only Louis Lawless, Academy Award nominated but lost man right here today.
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
And you lost.
And we didn't.
Nope, you didn't get anything. Nothing.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Absolutely. We're all about throwing away the money here. Yeah.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Yeah, me too, man. Everybody needs me. Yeah.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Well, I know.
You got to dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
That's correct, Louis.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Well, you go right ahead, Louis. I've got your cussing button right here.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right. Well, moving on. From a completely secret and undisclosed location somewhere in the continental United States comes the one, the only Kirstie Alley. Kirstie?
A lot of the times we are happy with each other because we're together and we are our own support system. Yeah. So, but right now, I feel good. I feel great to be here. It does give you a viewpoint of you should freaking feel good to be here.
Well, that's right. You damn well should.
I said too much.
I know. And you're still doing the Jenny Craig thing, yes? No?
Well, I'm doing Jenny Craig, and I'm the Jenny Craig spokesperson. I did it before. I lost weight. I kept it off for 3 years. Mm-hmm. Then I started slowly gaining it back.
Right.
Sit me. They wanted to help me. You can't really help someone unless they want help. I'm really sticking to the program, and the difference this time for me is that I'm really hard-headed. It's like, I used to be a cocaine addict, right? Well, an addict, whatever you want to call him.
No.
But I'm hard-headed, so it took me 4 times to go, I'm not doing this anymore. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. And then the last time I was just like, this is ruining my life. Once I come to that point with anything, that's what I've come to with gaining weight. This is freaking wasting my time, ruining my life, and I'm sort of an analytical person.
No.
So it's like, I'm done.
Okay. Yes, and from his lovely home in Los Angeles, California, where it's probably 90 degrees, is the one, the only George Takei. George, thank you for being here.
I think it's a treat to be here talking with you.
Well, it's always good to have you. And you know, you've been in show business. You ever been a crack addict or a cocaine monkey?
I have been a survivor in this cutthroat business called showbiz. But I've also been active and very much engaged in civic and the political arena in advocacy.
Right, but no mention of cocaine or crack. Right, okay.
You are a douchebag.
Well, you know, that's kind of what I get around here. But no, seriously, give the folks a little rundown about who you are, George.
I'm George Takei, and when I'm walking down the street, people shout out, "Hey, Sulu." So I'm known more as Sulu than as George Takei, which is what I really am.
Well, good for you. Well, there it is. There it is. And those are the fine folks joining us today for today's show. And, well, what's up on the old first hit parade here, huh? Well, let's see here. What would be the absolute most important story we've got to get out today, barring nothing? Well, it would have to be the White House statement that former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani's comments are, quote, horrible. And this comes to us from Twitter, so you know it's credible. White House spokesman Thursday denounced comments by former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani that seemed to question President Obama's deputy patriotism. Yes, questioned Obama's patriotism, in part, but in using Giuliani's own words. It was a horrible thing to say, says the White House Deputy Press Secretary Eric Schultz. Yeah, but what does he know? You know? Giuliani, a 2008 Republican presidential candidate, used the same phrase Wednesday night to criticize Obama. Quote, I do not believe, and I know this is a horrible thing to say, but I do not believe that the president loves America. Yes, Giuliani is quoted as saying, he doesn't love you, and he doesn't love me. He wasn't brought up the way you were brought up, and I was brought up to love this country, Giuliani said. His comments came during a private dinner on behalf of a likely 2016 Republican candidate president person thing. Yes, a dinner for a 2016 Republican presidential candidate. Yes, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. With Walker sitting just a few seats away, Giuliani continued by saying that with all of our flaws, we're the most exceptional country in the world. I'm looking for a presidential candidate who can express that, do that, and carry it out. I wonder if Giuliani knows that Obama's not running this time. Do you think? This seems a little, I don't know, a little crazy.
I think when you see the insanity in things, once I saw the insanity of drugs and really what it was doing to my life, I stopped.
Well, good for you. Good. It's always good. Here, Kirsty, are you a fun mom? Everybody wants to know.
I think I'm a fun mom most of the time, but I think I really expect a work ethic.
Right.
So there's no slackers. And it drives me nuts when somebody sleeps in past 11 o'clock.
11. Oh, you slave driver, you just...
Yes!
All right, you little beggars. Nobody sleeps in past 11. Yeah, that's, man, in my house it was 6 a.m. Anywho, Giuliani said during a Fox News appearance Thursday that it wasn't impinging Obama's patriotism. No, only his comments about the United States. Quote, he's a patriot, I'm sure, the former mayor said. What I'm saying is that rhetoric, I very rarely hear him say things that I used to hear Ronald Reagan say. Rudy, here's a tip for you. Ronald Reagan was usually asleep. Just to be clear.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Yeah, back to the England thing, of course. Yes, it all goes back to England, I'm telling you.
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you? Sitting behind his desk at Paramount talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door, and Jerry doesn't bat an eye.
Oh yeah, the good old days, the golden years of Hollywood, right there. Well, so Giuliani, backpedaling. Oh, he's a patriot, I'm sure. Leave me alone, press. Leave me alone. Don't do that. Yeah. In an interview with CNBC, Walker declined to comment about Giuliani's remarks. The mayor can speak for himself, Walker said. I'm not going to comment on whether what the president thinks or not. Republican Debbie Wasserman Schultz, chairwoman of the National Committee, criticized Walker's, silence and chided Giuliani and his fellow Republicans. I rarely agreed with President Bush, but I never questioned his love for our country, she said. I recalled in 2008 when the ugly head of bigotry against Barack Obama reared its head. No, honey, that was racism, not bigotry. Wait, never mind. I'm Chinese. John McCain famously stood up and said, enough. I would challenge my Republican colleagues and anyone in the Republican Party to say enough. They need to start leading and not talking. It's good when your politicians are telling your other politicians that they shouldn't be talking. Isn't being a politician talking? I think more so than being in radio. I think, yeah. Well, Schultz cited critical comments by a number of Democrats in declining to comment at the length on Giuliani's statements. I'm not going to pile on from here, he said. Okay, so, you said that. No, you didn't. You didn't really mean that. We're not going to go there. And, okay, so really that story is absolutely nothing. There you go. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, this is true. This is absolutely true. And, when it comes to things like that, yeah. But when it comes to our next story, it's about a pediatrician that won't treat a baby with two moms. Huh?
You being Catholic, you realize that you can have birth control. You realize that?
Yes, Louis, I do, but I'm not one of the two moms at all. It's not me. No, I'm just this little radio host from this tiny city, and I hang out on Twitter.
Tweet. Now we're on Twitter and we tweet together.
Yes.
Yes.
We do. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So, Kirsty, what do you think about this pediatrician that won't treat a baby that has two moms? Huh.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened in our lives.
Okay. I wouldn't go that far, maybe, but yeah. Yeah, this pediatrician is sticking to his guns, and technically he doesn't have guns, so yeah. In Detroit, actually, sitting in the pediatrician's office with their 6-day-old daughter, these two moms couldn't wait to meet the doctor they had picked out months before. The Roseville, Michigan pediatrician, one of many they had interviewed, seemed to be the perfect fit for them. Yes. She took a holistic approach to treating children. She used natural oils and probiotics, and she knew they were lesbians. But as Jamie and Krista Contreras sat in the exam room waiting to be seen for their newborn's first checkup, another pediatrician entered the room. Yes, the evil, misogynistic bastard. Yes, Dr. Misogynist. Yes, he entered the room and delivered a major blow. The doctor they were hoping for had a change of heart after, quote, much prayer. She decided that she couldn't treat their baby because they are lesbians. There you go. Yeah, and that's not making George laugh too much there, no. I was completely dumbfounded, recalled Krista Contreras, the baby's biological mother. Yes, we just looked at each other and said, did we hear that correctly? When we tell people about it, they don't believe us. They say, doctors can't do that. That's not legal. And we say, yes, it is. The Contreras of Oak Park, Michigan are going public with their story to raise awareness about the discrimination that the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, LGBT community continues to face. Oh, the plight of choosing the same sex and never having that hope to reproduce. But then somewhere, somehow, magically, some man's sperm gets in there. And next thing you know, you've got a baby, and then you face more because nobody wants to treat your baby.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, okay, Louis, but I'm not thinking this is corruption or any of that good joy stuff here. No, this is different. This is something else. For months, the couple kept quiet about what happened to them and their baby Windsor Contreras at Eastlake Pediatrics last October. But the pain and frustration just wouldn't go away. No, we have got to have a parade. It won't go away. Yeah.
I've said too much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you just shut up. You just talk all the time. I just can't shut this girl up.
All right, go a half an hour. Do I get 50,000?
No, yes.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're there. Sure, why not? Well, they say they want people to know that this is happening to families. This is really happening, said Jamie Contreras, who was blindsided that fall day in the doctor's office. It was embarrassing. It was humiliating. It was just wrong. And, of course, after this story broke, the doctor apologizes. The pediatrician at issue is Vesna Roy, 49 years old, who has been practicing pediatric medicine for 19 years. Roy said that she could not comment on the case, citing the federal HIPAA law, which requires medical providers to protect the privacy of patients, but she did defend her commitment to the pediatric medicine discipline and, of course, helping children. My life is taking care of babies, Roy said Tuesday. I love my families. Yes, I do. Please don't hurt me. Ha, ha, ha. He, he. Whatever. Well, listen, gang, we're going to go for our first 2-minute commercial break. And when we come back, yes, what's the next item up for bids on that? Price is Right? Well, Obama saying that Islam and the war on terror is an ugly lie. Back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio
1. What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
The hot new accessory, brows that wow. New from Maybelline, New York, it's Brow Drama, our first sculpting ball brush with tinted gel. Just sweep, then sculpt for bolder, sculpted brows. New Brow Drama. Get the look at Maybelline.com. Maybe it's Maybelline.
This fast-paced, digital everything life, there's nothing like experiencing the world's finest journalism in its original form. So sign up today for as little as $3.80 a week. to receive the greatest newspaper in the world and all the incredible experiences that come with it.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Well, that's what the girl said. Ah, yeah, we're back on the program, of course. The program, of course, being Coffee and Cigarettes, HTLA Radio 1 New York, and the Thursday Double-Double for this Thursday, the 19th of February, 2015. Still 21 degrees, Central Park, mostly sunny, and, well, they're calling for more snow tomorrow.
Well, I'm a Shakespeare dog.
I know, George. I know. Oh.
I bribe children. I pay them $10 an hour.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow. $10 an hour. That's a good wage. I like it.
Wait a minute, I got lost. HTLA. Oh, HTLA. Hell is that?
Now, Louis, that's your career going sideways.
Which woman are you married to or living with now? The same one? The mother of the daughter, or was it a boy?
You don't even know, man.
I don't know. It was my life dream to be an actress and have monkeys.
Really?
I want to have monkeys.
Okay, you go right ahead.
Yes!
Nobody's stopping you from having monkeys. No way. Why would we do that? That's just bad business is what that is. That's right. We're not going there. So if you're just joining us on the big show, our first couple of stories were, well, not really stories. We'll just leave that alone. Yeah.
Okay, good. We're in pretty good company.
We are, absolutely. The one, the only Louis Lawless, Kirstie Alley, George Takei, and Jenny McCartney in the booth pushing the buttons. Oh, yeah. So welcome back, everybody. Our next little story takes us all the way to Washington, D.C. Well, yes, the great President Obama said today, the governments across the globe are obligated to confront the, quote, warped ideologies, end quote, that lead to terrorism. Quote, especially their attempt to use Islam to justify their violence, end quote. Yes, national leaders must also dispute claims that there is a clash of civilians in the world, the president said during a second-day speech at the White House summit on confronting violent extremism. Yeah. The notion that the West is at war with Islam is an ugly lie, Obama said, and all of us, regardless of our faith, have a responsibility to reject it. Obama also addressed summit delegates on Wednesday in a session devoted to discussing how local communities can help dissuade young people from following the path of violent extremism, or as it's better known to the internet community, YouTubers. Yes. Obama said in his speech today that nations need to break the cycles of conflict, especially sectarian conflict, that have become magnets for violent extremism. Examples include a civil war in Syria and clashes between Sunnis and Shiites across the Middle East. That's been going on for 3,000 years. Yes. Countering violent extremism begins with political, civic, and religious leaders rejecting sectarian strife, Obama said. Damn, he's good. As he did Wednesday, Obama said governments must also deal with the economic and political grievances that can fuel appeals to terrorism. Education, jobs, economic opportunity, and commitment to the rule of law can also help officials stop terrorist threats against Muslims and other religious groups. Yes, we just need more jobs. That will keep us all busy, and we won't have time to strap C4 to our cats and blow them up all over the city. But I didn't say that. We have to ensure that our diverse societies truly welcome and respect people of all faiths and backgrounds, Obama said. Leaders set the tone on this issue. Yes, because all of the masses out there listen to the leaders. No, actually, to be more accurate, they bitch about them and everything they're doing wrong.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a American. Look how they took the country away from England.
There he goes again. Well, and indeed, those politicians, those great leaders, apparently, that we revere, more of them today are making statements that, I, for one, certainly do not revere. Representative Mike Honda, declares support for transgender grandchild. Yeah, check this out. Yeah. The California Democrat, co-founder of the Congressional LGBT Equality Caucus, so I know George knows him, proclaimed in a tweet, there's the news again, proclaimed in a tweet posted yesterday that he is, of course, a proud grandpa and hopes she can feel safe at school without fear of being bullied. Well, here's, I got some things to say, people. Yes, I do. I'm just going to break from the mainstream a little bit here, and I'm going to stick my 2 cents in here because I can. Feel safe at school without fear of being bullied. Guess what, Grandpa? I got some news for you. Way back before there was transgenders and gender fluidity and lesbians and all this parade stuff and everything else, there was bullying at schools. There's been bullying all the way back to when schools were in caves with open fires. It's human nature. I was bullied as a child. Yeah, I think every child is. Am I gay? No. Am I a lesbian? No. Am I transgender? No. Am I gender fluid? No. Was there anything about me as a kid that was considered abnormal or indeed not part of any other kid's life? No. But I still got bullied, didn't I? You bet. It's human nature. Go look it up. Yeah.
Okay, good. We're in pretty good company.
Yes. I know what the hell I'm talking about. The picture of Honda with his arm around the child speaks volumes for transgender people. Yeah, the child looks like she's about, I'm going to give it a shot-in-the-dark guess, 8 years old, who seek understanding but are often the targets of violence and discrimination. There is heightened interest now about the trans community, in part because of a character on TV's Orange is the New Black. Yes, because TV, as we all know, is real life. Yes, I know Kirsty, when she did the Star Trek there, Wrath of Khan with you, George, I know that she was invited to a Star Trek convention and ended up going there. And, of course, the people in the crowd, I think the first question they asked her was, what's it like to go into warp speed? And that ended Kirsty's lovely... what do we call it? The convention career.
I said too much.
Yes, you have. There you go. So now, what do we got here now? Because of the TV show Orange is the New Black, yes, and because of speculation, of course, surrounding former gold medalist Bruce Jenner and his apparent transition. Well, here's a news flash for you. Bruce Jenner is damn near 70 years old. And, through his life, we've now gotten the technological abilities, of course, to pull out a vagina and put in a penis where no penis was before. Yeah, that was my Shatner thing.
Do you think I'm sexually aroused by Mr. Shatner?
Yeah, absolutely not. No.
I did not sleep with him.
No, I didn't think you did. Don't worry. All right. Well, Honda's declaration is especially a bold statement for Asian Americans. Yes, of course. Because Their culture and traditions make it even more challenging for gay men, lesbians, and transgender people. Indeed. Back in the old days, they used to just cut your things off. Now they cut your things off and replace them with reasonable facsimiles of the other things. Marcia Izumi, a national board member of PFLAG, I'm sure we'll figure out what that is in a minute or two, explained in a blog post for the Huffington Post the cultural significance of Honda's support for his grandchild. The congressman didn't provide the child's name or age. Well, no, because she's like 8 or 9 years old and, well, indeed doesn't even have sexuality yet. Whatever. We in the API, or the Asian Pacific Islander community, often go into the closet hiding in shame when our LGBT children express whom they truly are and or whom they are attracted to. Hey, okay, let's stop the bus here for a second. A lot of us have kids. You know, Kirsty's got kids, right?
I bribe children. I pay them $10 an hour.
There you go. See? So you've got kids, yeah?
These kids they make me better every day. I mean, they really are awesome. I'm the luckiest mother in the world. Seriously.
Okay, well, good. Now, you got to agree with me, okay, that, kids, well, at any age, really, being kids, 14, even 15, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a fireman.
Yes!
Yeah, you want to be a fireman. Then the kid grows up and ultimately ends up, I don't know, being a banker or an accountant or something, right? Right. Why is it now that we as a society are taking what these 8 and 9-year-olds are saying, because these are the things that these 8 and 9-year-olds are being fed, thank you, with the gay movement. And
you are
I know,
a douchebag.
A douchebag. Yeah, I am, but I'm happy and comfortable with it.
You apologize for your poor choice in words, but you are always going to be a total douchebag.
Oh, I'll tell you what, let's work out a little trade, George.
We had a little trade.
There you go. Problem solved. That's right. These kids don't even know what they want to be when they grow up, and you're telling me now that you're taking them and their words as gospel, that they want their vagina removed and a penis put in as soon as possible, please. We're waiting. This is absolutely retarded. Perhaps more API parents and grandparents will openly accept their children and grandchildren and express their love unconditionally, with Congressman Honda sharing his support of his own trans grandchild. Adriana Korovibibis, yes, I'm not even going to go there. Adriana, what's her face, a volunteer in an LGBT community center in San Jose, told the Mercury News that Honda's revelation could be the beginning of something new, especially for transgender people who have been going through a lot of discrimination with their gender identity. Well, you know what? I'm going to create a new... it's not even a sexuality. I'm going to... I know we've got the technology now to sew an arm onto a body, and I know we can do that, and the tissue will live and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go in for an operation. I'm going to have a third arm attached to my torso. I'm going to make sure it's a black arm. Well, no, because that's important, because, I wouldn't want to be seen as racist at all. So if I'm part black too, then people will leave me the freak alone about that. Right? You see where I'm going there? And then, of course, I'll attach this arm, and I'll have 3 arms. So I'll need special T-shirts. So I'm sure American Apparel or some T-shirt company will come and get on board and help me with that. And I'll start myself up a GoFundMe, and, I can get a couple of $100,000 to a couple of $1 million for this, of course, because, all the black people out there would support me because I'm getting a black arm installed, and all the white people would support me because I'm expressing my individuality by having a third arm that nobody else has before, but I've always dreamt of having a third arm since I was just a little boy, and I'll have my third arm, and it will be black, and it will be beautiful, and yeah, are you kidding me?
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right, enough on Honda and his grand gender child trans thing. I don't know. I really hate these stories, and that's why I don't have to do it right now, because we're going to go for another commercial break. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, I'll submit to you that we'll talk about the woman who accidentally kills herself adjusting her bra holster. We'll be back. George.
I'm a Shakespeare buff.
George, really, please. Thank you. We'll be back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
The hot new accessory, brows that wow. New from Maybelline, New York, it's Brow Drama, our first sculpting ball brush with tinted gel. Just sweep, then sculpt for bolder, sculpted brows. New Brow Drama. Get the look at Maybelline.com. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
In this fast-paced, digital everything life, there's nothing like experiencing the world's finest journalism in its original form. So sign up today for as little as $3.80 a week to receive the greatest newspaper in the world and all the incredible experiences that come with it.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful.
A broom closet.
But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain. Defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Well, there you go. That's right. You heard the man. Or the woman. Yes, it was a woman. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Coffee and cigarettes today. The Thursday double on HTLA Radio 1 New York City. Still 21 degrees Central Park. Sunny. With a lot of slow-moving people walking their dogs. Yeah.
Well, I'm a Shakespeare buff.
George.
I went to the Shakespeare Institute at Stratford-upon-Avon.
Yes, George. When indeed are you going to learn?
I've said too much.
Actually, no, you haven't. You want to live in a commune, I heard.
As long as they have jobs and they're doing well, we can live in a commune, or we can live Italian style.
Italian style, you bet. That's right.
I want to have monkeys.
Don't we bloody all?
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
That's right, Louie. That's right. Of course, everybody, you are listening to HTLA Radio 1 New York and Coffee and Cigarettes for this Thursday double-double. Brought to you by Tim Hortons New York City with their 8 fine locations in the city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs. You betcha. Here with us today, Jenny in the booth pushing the buttons, making us go. Louie, Kirsty, and George Takei rocking it with you here on the big shoe. Yeah. There it is. What else we got to get home? Yeah. All right, let's do that. We got to do something to make this show more exciting.
I like doing interviews when people ask me questions that no one else asks me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the same question that I'm asked,
right.
I think I turn into a robot.
Sure.
I'm going to make you a deal. When I am having sex, I am going to call you.
Oh.
I'm going to call in.
Really?
I'm going to have early morning sex. All the sounds that are appropriate. If the guy's bad, I'm going to go, this guy cannot a tree.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great. George, no, don't get any ideas. Do not call us when you're having sex. Thank you. But I will, of course, be all about, any photos you'd like to send.
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
I know, I'm just kidding. Don't you dare send me any photos. All right, are we clear?
It's about fucking time. Move on. All
right, Louie, well, thank you, of course. Yes, we're going to move on. Everyone needs my love, right?
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Well, I know.
You gotta dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Yes. Well, without further ado, I'll dispense some more love on today's Coffee and Cigarettes with the story of the woman who accidentally killed herself adjusting her bra holster. Yes, I'm not kidding. A Michigan woman accidentally shot herself to death last month while adjusting a .22 caliber revolver in her bra holster, police said Wednesday. Christina Bond, 55 years old, was struck in the eye in her St. Joseph home on New Year's Day. She died the next day in the Kalamazoo hospital where she had been airlifted. Yeah. She was having trouble adjusting her bra holster. Couldn't get it to fit the way she wanted to. St. Joseph Public Safety Director Mark Clapp told the Kalamazoo Gazette she was looking down at it and had accidentally discharged the weapon. Yeah. Well, that's what I'd say, too, if I was her husband and just shot her in the head. You bet. No other details, of course, have been released. Police are awaiting the full autopsy report. Bond, the mother of two sons, was a bookkeeper and office administrator for the Southwest Michigan Community Action Agency and had previously run the office for the Road to Life Church. She also ministered to inmates at the Berrien County Jail, I'm assuming without her bra. St. Joseph is on the eastern shore of Lake Michigan, north of the Indiana line. If that makes any sense to anybody out there, you let us know. Yeah.
I've said too much.
Well, that's fine. And, of course, as always, you can email the show. We do have an email address, We're not Neanderthals. Yes, producer@HTLAradio1.com. HTLAradio1.com. Fire us off email there. Let us know what you think of the show, what you think of, Louie or George or Kirsty or indeed Tom. We got no shortage of email for Tom. He was so damned popular. I'm kidding. Nobody emailed for him at all. Let's see, moving on. What else we got? What's stuff that you need to know at the coffee shop here? Walmart fighters apologize after video becomes viral. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Maybe we don't have to live in a commune.
As long as they have jobs and they're doing well, we can live in a commune, or we can live Italian style.
Yes, Italian style. That's it. Well, in Deer Park, Texas, two women seen fighting inside a crowded Walmart claim they both acted in self-defense. Yes, one was defending herself and the other one was defending herself, and somebody just pushed the two of them together, I guess. The video of the fight went viral online. It shows Jessica Albert's headbutting. Yes, that's a defensive move, actually. Headbutting Alice Keener after the two women traded insults to one another. Well, see, that's not defensive. That's escalating. That's, yeah. She says, if I could take it back, I'd take it back, says Keener, a grandmother of 4 who was working in the Jackson Hewitt kiosk the day of the confrontation. Keener claimed she was helping one of her customers when Albitz began calling her names, then came the headbutt, and Keener said pushed her over the edge. I stepped out of character. My emotions overtook me. Well, police arrested Albitz and charged her with misdemeanor assault, and the 37-year-old spoke out before she was apprehended and called the charges against her unfair. Yes, of course. Why would I be charged without her being charged with anything, says Albitz. Well, let me tell you a little story about instigation. Oh, that's right. She said the fight stemmed from an incident a few days earlier when Keener insulted her husband. She came out of her cubicle, said Albitz. She verbally abused my husband, but it may have just been a big misunderstanding, according to Keener. I was making a joke, said Keener. It was a conversation between myself and my coworker. Yeah, you know what? Videos of you just being yourself and having a little misunderstanding wouldn't go viral on YouTube. No. What are you thinking, George? Tell me in your own words what you think about this whole. Well, actually, no, don't even do that. Tell us about your political activism, will you?
Well, actually, what shaped my life is what happened to all Japanese Americans during the Second World War. Pearl Harbor was bombed, and overnight, American citizens of Japanese ancestry were looked at with suspicion and fear and outright hatred simply because we happened to look like the people that bombed Pearl Harbor, and we were put in barbed wire American prison camps. They called them internment camps, but they were really, for all rights and purposes, concentration camps. There were sentry towers with the machine guns pointed at us, and when I made the night runs from the barracks to the latrine, searchlights followed us. But for me, as a 5-year-old at that time, I thought it was kind of nice that the searchlights lit the way for me to pee. So I adjusted. Children are amazingly adaptable, and that became the normality in my life. Lining up 3 times a day to eat a noisy missile, complain about the lousy food, became routine. And when the war ended, we came back to Los Angeles. Many people did not because they were so embittered by the experience on the West Coast. And as I grew up, as a teenager, I started reading civics books and history books, and I saw nothing in that about my childhood experience. But I read the glorious chapters about our democracy. And so I engaged my father in long discussions after dinner, trying to reconcile, our imprisonment during the war and all the ideas that I've been reading about. And my father said to me, our democracy is a people's democracy. It can be as great as a people can be, but it's also as fallible as people are. Yeah. And our democracy is vitally dependent on good people being actively engaged in the process. And shortly after that, he took me to the Adlai Stevenson for President headquarters, and he volunteered me. And that's how I got introduced to political activism. It was a lot of fun, but by that time I was starting to understand something about our democracy.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Thank you, George, for that.
I think I've talked about potato guns and sacks and...
Oh, actually, no, Kirsty, you haven't mentioned the potato gun thing again. Yeah, no. A lot of folks were wondering, actually, what Kirsty and her family did for New Year's, because she didn't seem to be around any of the events going on anywhere. And, Kirsty, tell us what you did for New Year's.
Well, this friend of my son and daughter made a potato gun. You ever seen a potato gun?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this. You take this. You take this huge pipe that's about 6 feet tall. It's and you rig it up. So anyway, you stuff a potato down it. You ignite. You spray hairspray on it. You ignite it, and it's a cannon. And you shoot potatoes like.
Yeah, like. There you go. It is a kind of cool thing. So, yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. Now you can say you've talked about potato guns and sacks.
I think I've talked about potato guns and sacks. And
there you go.
Yes.
All right, done. Like dinner. Oh, well, let's see. We're just about out of time, but I've got to be able to slam one more in there. Yeah, this one. This will do the most good for America right here. A nutrition panel urges Americans to eat green. Yes, you've got to eat green. Americans should consider the health of the planet along with the health of their hearts when deciding what to eat. According to an expert panel that advises the federal government on nutrition, it is the first time an advisory committee, which updates its recommendations in a report every 5 years, has considered the environmental impact of food choices. Also, for the first time, the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee singled out, quote, added sugars, those not naturally found in foods such as fruit, encouraging Americans to sharply cut back. Rather than obsess over individual ingredients, the report urges Americans to think about healthy dietary patterns with more fruits, nuts, legumes, vegetables, and whole grains, and less red or processed meat. That type of diet is linked to a lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Plant-based diets also use fewer resources, such as land, water, and energy, and produce fewer greenhouse gases, which trap heat in the atmosphere and contribute to climate change. Vegetables are also less likely than livestock to pollute the land, according to the report that was issued Thursday. So there you go. And I know... well, Louis, he's had some legal troubles lately. He got thrown out of a theater a couple of weeks ago, right?
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Yeah, so you got your things to deal with, but you're very much into the healthy eating. I know that you're into the beans and rice and all that good stuff. So that's very good. I however, I'm not.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
Oh yeah?
You would have loved the guy. He never drank, never smoked, did drugs, nothing. He had only one obsession, and that was the women.
He just pitied the fool, and yeah.
If you think that you were clever with women, he wouldn't stand a candle with this guy.
No.
Or Muhammad Ali was another one with women. I did 2 films with him.
Yeah.
He would walk into. We were doing a big boxing movie. With 200 or 300 people in the stand, and he walked in and had beside him stood his macho honcho, and those were all the Muslims in those days. They had those little thin ties and suits.
Yeah.
And he would point at the females, and he went and got them and gave them a note, and every 20 or 30 minutes they would go into his dressing room. But they were only talking about negotiations, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, it's all about the business, yeah.
It's all about the business, yes.
Oh.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened in our lives.
Well, Muhammad Ali movies weren't very good until, of course, Will Smith went and fixed all that. But there you go, you know. There you go. There's the music. We're done for the day. Louis, thank you for coming on again today.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
I know.
You gotta dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Well, don't you worry, Lou. I'm going to continue doing that.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right. Kirstie Alley, the wonderful lady herself, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome. And the one, the only, George Takei. Thanks again, George. You're always the tops in our book.
I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It has been a fantastic experience.
Oh, there you go. You heard it right here.
I've said too much.
Yes, you have. So you just stop talking right now, you. Don't make me get off the belt.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Oh, all right. Special thanks to HTLA at Radio 1 for having us kicking around here. Thank you also to Tim Hortons New York City with their 8 fine locations in the city. For all your coffee and baked goods needs, go get them while they're hot. Of course, no shows for HTLA tonight. We're taking it off, baby. And, yeah, so next up, coffee and cigarettes. Your Friday Frappuccino will be coming up tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. So you know where to be and you know where to tune. Yes, you just do what you're told.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that... Yeah? You think so, huh?
No, I don't.
Well, there you go. And with that, have a great Thursday, gang. We'll see you tomorrow.
Radio, HTLA Radio 1.